It's dated 26 June 1997. Dear Sir, Detective Sergeant Paul Robert O'Sullivan, the force numbers there. The above name has been lecturing at this establishment and external courses since 1993. Currently lectures in the following subjects, and you've mentioned this: the Constitution and Police Ethics, Police Administration and Procedures, Crime Investigation and Scenes of Crime, the Criminal Procedures Act, Criminal Law A and B, Statement Taking. So is it in the course of doing that you also trained, amongst others, our President?
That's right, Chairman. During the period from 93 till about 2000, I trained 1,500 police reservists in Johannesburg. And at one stage, which was in 1997, the course that we ran, there would be about between 30 and 40 students on each course. And the courses would normally last about 3 months. And that would entail, I was only responsible for the lecturing side of it, which would entail three sessions in the evenings and one session on a Saturday. So I had to train these various police reservists. And one day I was quite surprised to find that one of the students sitting there was Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, I'd already met Cyril Ramaphosa previously because I'd met him at Wandis Place in Soweto. So I knew him already, and now he's suddenly a reservist or a reservist in training. And it was quite funny, really, because I remember one day I got, when you lecture, you don't just give a lecture and then leave it there. You give a lecture and then you have to ask questions. You have to get interaction with the students. And when I lectured these students, I would say, has anybody got any questions about this? Now, one of the areas we lectured on, as is mentioned here, is the Constitution and police ethics. And the Constitution was new at that time. And my area of interest, insofar as these students was concerned, was the Bill of Rights, because I wanted to make sure that we wouldn't be training police reservists who wouldn't understand the rights of citizens.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has firmly denied that forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan played any role in the appointment of Annie Masemola as National Police Commissioner in April 2022. In written responses submitted to Parliament's ad hoc committee, Ramaphosa dismissed the claims as baseless, stating unequivocally that O'Sullivan had no role whatsoever directly or indirectly in the decision. The president said the appointment was made strictly within his constitutional authority, following consultations with the then Minister of Police and his National Security Advisor, Sidney Mafumadi, and said, I made the decision in terms of Section 207(1) of the Constitution. Ramaphosa said, underscoring that the process adhered to established protocol. O'Sullivan had earlier told the committee that he was approached by Ramaphosa's former advisor, Bejane Chauke, to vet potential candidates for the top police post. He claimed he conducted lifestyle audits on 8 individuals, including Masemola and KZN Police Commissioner Letlam Konasi, and deemed only 2 suitable. However, Ramaphosa rejected any suggestion that such input influenced his decision. He also denied ever instructing Chauke to engage O'Sullivan in the selection process. Providing context on their relationship, Ramaphosa confirmed that he first met O'Sullivan in 1997 during police reservist training, where O'Sullivan served as an instructor. Beyond occasional greetings over the years, the president said there had been no meaningful contact between them. While acknowledging that O'Sullivan had attempted to reach individuals within his circle, including Chauke and members of his foundation, Ramaphosa maintained that any information shared was never considered in his decisions, whether as president, deputy president, or in any other role. Chauke also distanced himself from O'Sullivan's claims. Earlier this year, he told the committee that he never solicited O'Sullivan's involvement in hand and had instead been approached by multiple individuals attempting to influence the appointment process, as that O'Sullivan was one of many who came forward with suggestions, adding that one of the candidates O'Sullivan supported was not even on the official shortlist. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa has said he had not approved the disbandment of the Political Killings Task Team and was dissatisfied that he had not been consulted by suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu beforehand. Ramaphosa said this in written responses to Parliament's ad hoc committee. He said the decision was taken by Mchunu and should have fallen under the authority of the National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola. Ramaphosa said he was informed of the move on or about February 1, 2025 by Masemola, who indicated that Mchunu had instructed that the unit be disbanded. Masemola also made it clear that he disagreed with the decision. Ramaphosa said he further assured me that, notwithstanding this instruction, a disbandment could not be effected immediately, as this would negatively affect pending investigations. The president said he subsequently requested a meeting with Mchunu, which took place on or about February 13, 2025, and said at this meeting the minister informed me that he had given the instruction to disband the task team and his reasons for doing so. I conveyed my dissatisfaction at not having been consulted prior to the decision being taken. I further indicated that in my view, this was a decision for the National Commissioner to make. Ramaphosa said he made it clear that he expected to be kept informed of any further decisions affecting investigations into political killings, and said it was my understanding that the steps to be taken fell within the purview of the National Commissioner's authority. He added that he understood from Masemola that the PKTC will not be disbanded and that its work will continue despite the directive. Ramaphosa's response followed calls from members of the parliamentary committee for him to appear in person and be held fully accountable. The presidency had missed an initial deadline to submit answers and requested an extension. The committee was established after Mkhwanazi made explosive allegations in July last year, raising concerns about political interference and corruption within South Africa's criminal justice system. Mchunu previously told the committee that he had not consulted Ramaphosa before issuing the disbandment directive. He said his decision was based on a police research study recommending the consolidation of violent crime investigations into the murder and robbery unit. Meanwhile, General Mkhwanazi has intensified his allegations, claiming Mchunu personally ordered the December 2024 letter disbanding the PKTC, but had been captured into doing so, and said, I believe the minister was captured to writing that letter. He does not accept that. He owns it. Mkhwanazi said forensic analysis showed that the letter was drafted on Mchunu's iPad and later deleted, but investigators were able to recover the data and said, you delete, we retrieve. We know he is the author. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.